I need your help, please subscribe my channel. It was a Thursday morning when Lily looked me dead in the eye and said, I'm going to see Mom. Her voice was calm, too calm. She wore a soft blue dress I hadn't seen in months, the one she usually saved for date nights or special dinners, not family visits. And her perfume, stronger than usual, filled the kitchen like a quiet warning I didn't yet understand. How long will you be gone? I asked, leaning against the counter. Just the weekend, she said with a faint smile. Mom's been feeling lonely. I nodded, kissed her forehead, and watched her roll her suitcase through the doorway. Everything about it seemed normal, or at least it should have. For the rest of the day, I tried to push the thought aside. Lily and her mom were close, they talked almost every other night. Still, around noon, I texted her mom to make sure Lily had made it safely. No response. Not unusual, I told myself. She was never great with phones. But something about the silence felt off, like a small thread pulling at the back of my mind. That night before bed, I called Lily. She answered after a few rings. I could hear faint music behind her. Not the stillness of her mother's home. Hey, where are you? I asked lightly. At Mom's, she said quickly. We're watching a movie. I'll call you tomorrow, okay? Her tone was cheerful, but the noise didn't match her story. Clinking plates, laughter, voices. It sounded like a restaurant, not a living room. I told myself I was overthinking and let it go. The next morning I texted her mom again. Hope you and Lily are having a good time. This time she replied. Good time? I haven't seen Lily in weeks. Is everything okay? My stomach dropped. I read the message again. And again. The words didn't change. I called her immediately, forcing calm into my voice. Hey, just checking in. Lily said she was coming to visit. Her mom sounded puzzled. No, sweetheart. She didn't come here. Are you sure she didn't go somewhere else? That was the moment everything shifted. Just a small crack, but deep enough to let the fear in. I hung up and stared at my phone. Maybe Lily stopped somewhere on the way. Maybe she surprised a friend. Maybe she lied. The thought came quietly like a chill under the door. That night I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw her face that morning, calm, smiling, rehearsed. By sunrise, I'd convinced myself there had to be an explanation. Maybe her mom forgot. Maybe Lily didn't want to worry me. But the unease wouldn't let go. At noon I called her again. No answer. I called twice more. Nothing. I texted. Everything okay? Delivered, but no reply. By evening I was pacing the living room watching the clock. Finally, around 9 p.m. a text came through. Busy. Talk tomorrow. No emojis. No warmth. Just words that felt mechanical, hollow. The next morning I went to her vanity, something I hadn't done in years. Her perfume bottles lined up as always, but the one she'd worn that day was missing. So was the necklace I'd given her for our 5th anniversary. Then I noticed it. A folded receipt sticking out of her purse, half hidden under a scarf. It was from a boutique hotel 2 cities away. Dated that Thursday. 2 nights. Paid in cash. My hands shook as I read it. Every excuse, every doubt I tried to silence fell apart. I called the hotel, pretending to confirm a booking under her name. Yes, Mrs. Lewis checked in yesterday afternoon, the receptionist said. Would you like me to connect you to her room? I froze. My mind screamed no, but my heart whispered yes. Before I could answer, she added, oh wait, they checked out this morning. They. That one word hit like a punch to the chest. I hung up, staring at the floor, the phone heavy in my hand. My wife, the woman who'd kissed me goodbye and said she was going to her mother's, had spent the weekend in a hotel with someone else. I didn't know who. I didn't even want to imagine. That night I poured myself a drink, turned off my phone and sat in silence. I wasn't angry yet, just hollow. Betrayal doesn't come in explosions. It seeps in slowly, filling every space where love used to live. 2 days later, Lily came home as if nothing had happened. The same soft perfume. The same gentle tone. She smiled, set her bag down, kissed my cheek like always. But her eyes, they couldn't meet mine. How's your mom? I asked. My voice sounded calm. Too calm. She's doing better, she said. It was nice to spend some time with her. I nodded, pretending to believe her. My hands rested on the counter, steady but cold. I called her, I said quietly. She froze back, still turned. She said she hasn't seen you in weeks. Silence. The air thickened. I watched the color drain from her face. You called her, she whispered. I did, I said. Because when my wife says she's visiting her mother, I like to know she's safe. She turned around slowly, her face pale, her lips trembling. It's not what you think, Daniel. Then what is it? I asked, stepping closer. Because I also called the hotel. Her eyes widened, panic, guilt, fear, all at once. She tried to speak, but no sound came. I reached into my pocket and set the folded receipt on the counter between us. 2 nights, I said quietly. Paid in cash. She sank into a chair, burying her face in her hands. I didn't mean for you to find out this way. I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Find out what exactly? That you've been lying to me? That the woman I trusted more than anyone thought I'd never see through a cheap story. Her eyes filled with tears. It wasn't supposed to happen like this. I just needed space. And he. She stopped herself too late. The name she didn't say echoed louder than anything else. My chest felt heavy, but my voice stayed even. Who is he, Lily? She shook her head, whispering. It's over now. No, I said softly. It's just beginning. I grabbed my keys, paused at the door. You lied straight to my face, Lily. You looked me in the eyes and walked out like nothing was wrong. You didn't go to your mother's. You went to kill what was left of us. She sobbed, reaching out, but I didn't turn around. I didn't shout. I didn't break anything. I just walked out, closed the door behind me, and drove into the night. The air outside felt colder than usual, every mile pulling me farther from the man I used to be. I thought about every promise we'd made, every moment I trusted her completely, and how easily she traded it all for a weekend that meant nothing. The next morning I called my lawyer. I didn't want revenge, I wanted peace. Real peace. The kind that comes from ending a lie, not escaping one. He listened, asked a few questions, then said calmly, We'll make sure it's handled cleanly. You deserve better than this chaos. Over the next week, I packed my things one piece at a time. Lily tried calling, texting, even showing up at my job. I ignored it all. Every message started with apology and ended with blame. I was confused. You pushed me away. It didn't mean anything. But I'd heard enough confessions in my life to know those weren't apologies, just attempts to soften guilt. When she showed up at the house one evening, I was waiting with a box of her things by the door. She looked exhausted, makeup streaked, voice shaking. Daniel, please don't do this. We can fix it. I looked at her for a long time before answering. You can't fix something you destroyed on purpose. Her tears came fast. It was one mistake. No, I said quietly. It was a decision. Every lie, every excuse, every time you looked me in the eyes and said you were somewhere else, that wasn't a mistake. That was a choice. She didn't answer. Just stood there, trembling, realizing the man who once begged her to stay was now done for good. I handed her the box and stepped aside. Take your things, Lily. And don't come back. The papers will find you soon enough. As she walked away, something inside me shifted. For the first time in months, I felt relief. Not the kind that comes from forgetting, but the kind that comes from finally accepting the truth. In the quiet days that followed, I learned something important. Closure isn't about revenge, or even understanding why someone did what they did. It's about leaving before their chaos becomes your own. And sitting alone in that silent house, I realized Lily hadn't left me empty. She just made space for peace to finally live there.